Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of the Body Active Show. I'm Joanna Torrens, and with me today is Miss Amy, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself. So I'm really excited, guys. This is one of my favorite topics in health. So, Amy, take it away. Tell us about
All right. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on the show. This is fun. We get to chat a little bit about stretching today. But my name is Amy Mastroguiseppe, and I am the owner of Mastro Stretch. I am a Kihara resistant stretching specialist. So we'll talk about that in a second. But I'm a stretch therapist, but also a personal trainer. And I've been doing that since 2006. So a little while now, longer than my first career, which I was a graphic designer for a while before I changed careers. So that's what I do. I actually transition more from personal training into stretching because I feel like a lot of people aren't doing stretching, and it's really important. And it's super important, and it helps people. It's easier to get people to stretch when you are stretching someone because it feels so good as opposed to getting people to work out. There's a lot of resistance to that sometimes. So it's a lot of fun to be able to stretch people and try to figure out why they're feeling pain in certain areas. And it's really fun. And sometimes for me, I'm just like, wow, that really worked. Like I'm almost amazed at some of the things sometimes when it works so well. I'm like, wow, it works.
You know what I love about stretching? It's one of those few modalities, and I feel this through the massage I do. Since I do massage, I do a lot of stretching in my massages. It's one of those things where you feel it immediately. You feel relief. With training, it takes, I mean, it's worth it, obviously, but it takes more commitment and longer. You have to do a couple more sessions. Stretching, you could like get off the table and be like, wow, I actually do feel much better within this session. So, and then it's one of those things I know with all your Instagram, your classes that you're doing, I see that you're teaching people how to do this from home, which is so important because a lot of this has to be a daily routine to make it like have long-term effects of the pain management and just having flexibility. So tell us some of the benefits you feel you've learned by teaching people about stretching and I don't know, things people don't realize is happening when you do this.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're absolutely right. Like, after a workout, people are sore, right? So, but with stretching, you're right. Or massage, and you do the stretching with massage, like they feel that immediate benefit. And I think in our society, people want that.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's a whole other topic on itself. But the benefits are amazing. Like you reduce your stress, obviously get rid of those aches and pains, the stiffness, increase your flexibility. Just calming the nervous system down is super important as well. Vagal tone, like all these great things, improve posture, feeling lighter in your body, just a lot of benefits. But I just think people either don't know what to do, and you're right, they don't do it, maybe because they don't know what to do, they don't do it on their own. And that's where I'm putting a lot of information out there as far as the self-stretching that you can do to see results. And there are different types of stretching, right? So I think most people are familiar with like a static stretch. So kind of touch your toes and hold it, right? Or, stretch your quad out, so most people know that, and they'll hold it for like, I don't know, 5 seconds, So that's something most people are familiar with that. And I dare to say that most people don't see a lot of results with that.
Right.
Because number one, they probably don't feel the results, so they don't think it's worth it. It is worth it. I think any type of stretching is totally worth it. And I think probably the second most would be like a dynamic stretching. Mm-hmm. There are people, that's like a warm up before a workout, or even like a yoga flow, right? So that's more like a dynamic stretching. Then you get into different types of yoga. There's like the longer holds, which would still be like static stretching. Like yin yoga would be static stretching.
I think where people go wrong in static stretching is that you don't realize you can't just stretch your hamstrings, let's say. It's mm-hmm. because it's your body doesn't work one muscle at a time. It's a system right. of muscles. So if you're having pain when you're walking, you don't realize that there's so many, or sitting, there's so many muscles involved with that just stretching the one area that's hurting you is not going to be the answer. You have to stretch out the surrounding muscles as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is a perfect transition. So the type of stretching I do is not very well known. It's called resistance stretching. In essence, it's strength training because you're using your own body's resistance to stretch.
Right.
And so what's also cool about it is when we go through our certification, we are taught problem solving. So you're absolutely right. If you feel like, oh, my hamstrings are tight, maybe it's because my back hurts because my hamstrings are tight. Well, it could also be from the quads. It could be also from the adductors or adductors. So you have to look at all those muscle groups and start to balance out the muscles because some of them might be tight and weak. Some of them might be overworked, so you got to really figure out what's going on. And that's what I love about this technique. And it's called Kihara resistance stretching.
Can you repeat that? What's it called?
Kihara, as in ki, Ki, as in like chi. It's a Japanese for chi, like energy. And hara is another Japanese word, and it means core.
Awesome.
So we're moving that core energy in your body to release the tension.
I love that because a lot of the stretching, you need blood flow to an area to really get kind of the stretch, kind of your muscle to kind of give in, get warm. So if you're, and the best blood flow comes from the core out, right? So that's how we heat up our muscles because we have the heat at the center. So I think that's so interesting. I need to talk to you later about this. I want to know.
So yeah, that's what I've found is a lot of people don't know about this, and it's such a great technique. The first time I ever had someone stretch me, my mentor stretched me, I walked away feeling like I had a brand new body. Yeah. I was like, this is amazing, amazing. And immediately I was like, okay, I got to learn this. I got to learn this and start doing this because it's going to help so many people. And that's what I'm really trying to put out there. The classes I have them every Thursday, free live classes every Thursday. They're 30 minutes and we go through more like a target area. This week we're going to work on knots in your shoulders. So there's knots you have around the shoulder blade. So we're going to work on that, and we'll do like a little problem solving stretches to try to alleviate that tension. So that's
everyone at home on Zoom webinars and stuff that they're like this.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I don't know how many clients are like, my neck and shoulders are a mess. So it's I'm definitely going to refer that out to my clients.
So many. Yeah. I'm getting so many more. Like lower back, I thought would be a bigger one, but shoulders and neck, man, like people are hurting. And
texting,
the texting and the computer work and the tech, it's a problem. Like our head is so far, down, and our neck is overstretched, and
one of those things that people are like, oh, my neck is tight, and I'm like, you're feeling tightness because it's overstretched. We have to contract it back.
Contract it back.
Is tight. That's not the issue. So every time I'm like, stretch your chest out, they're like, but it hurts back here, and I'm like, because this is too tight in the front. You're putting
and I think you're right. This is like education. Like we have to educate where we feel. Okay, we feel the pain where we feel the pain. That is, so we want some relief. That's where I like to get like into the foam rolling and using like massage balls. I think those are great for like alleviating that tension pretty quickly, and immediately. But then let's try to get to the root of it. It's the pain. Where you feel the pain is never the source. Very, very rarely is it like the source of the pain. So I think, getting that message out is really important for people to know that we can't, like you said, you can't just separate the hamstring. It works with the whole body. It works with, you can't, if you think about the anatomy text that we if anybody's just like, okay, this is the body with the muscles. And they always dissect it and take things apart. No, literally, we can't do that in our body. No. We're 3D, like it's all connected.
It is. It's so funny. Like when I have a client, my back hurts. Like I'm like, okay, and they're like, and I'm here at their glutes. I'm working on their hamstrings. I'm looking at their hip flexors. They're like, Joanna, you haven't touched my back, and I'm like, it's not your back.
Yeah.
That's just the final straw, but it's everything else that's affecting what's going on with your back, and there's just nowhere else to go to compensate for it. It's like the last resort. So we got over, and then I'm like, oh, really? It's your back? And I to prove a point sometimes, I don't hurt them, but I just jam my thumb in some like hamstring spot. I'm like, does that hurt? They're like, oh, that's it. I'm like, thank you. Just let me help you.
It's like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. But I do think it's important to also address their pain, you know, because that's where they feel it, right? Yeah. So but education is a big part of what we do, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Yeah.
So those are so it was the three. We did the static, the dynamic, and then Kihara. What was the name of it?
It's called resistance stretching. It's a little bit, and some people might be familiar with like PNF stretching, that contract, relax. It's similar, but it's different. And we could just go through a quick stretch if you wanted to kind of demonstrate. Yeah. So speaking of like the next stuff, let's see when you can, let's do this one. Okay. I'm just going to step back a little bit.
Okay.
Angle that down. Okay, so like you're doing a like a shoulder raise, right?
Okay.
We're going to feel this in here. So what we like to do is we like to turn on the muscle first, because sometimes our muscles are a little sleepy. Like, you know, like other muscles are working for that muscle, so we need to wake this muscle up. So we're going to contract that muscle and just turn it on a little bit. So basically just put your hand on top of your other arm. All right. So we're going to just do like if we had weights, we're just going to try to feel this muscle turn on. So go ahead. The hand is the weight. So go ahead, push up and just feel that muscle turn on, right? We're just using that hand. This is the first phase. We want to activate the muscle. So we're just going to do that 3 or 4 times. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go into the stretch. We're going to keep the contraction. So I want you to keep pressing up into the top hand, and now slowly bring the arm down. You're going to start to feel stretch, and then tilt your head to the side as you gently pull down and traction the arm. So you feel that stretch. Yeah. Bring it back up, and let's repeat that 2 more times and moderate the resistance. I wouldn't go real heavy at first. So keep pushing up with the bottom arm and then lower. So we're lengthening the muscle, right? We're lengthening the muscle under resistance. And then we're going to tilt that head so we feel that stretch down the side of the neck. Feels so good. One more time. Push. Yeah, right through there, that trouble spot, right? And then one last time. So just push up and then tilt the head.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's very different than if you just push, you know, kind of, well, you don't even really feel it. Like you go like that, you really don't even feel much of a stretch when you do that, but you add that resistance and it really kicks it up notch. Yeah, so let's balance it out. Let's go ahead and do the other side. We can't just do one side. So let's activate some muscle first. So just take the hand on top of the other one and push up. Yep. Do that 3 or 4 times just to warm the muscle up a little bit and feel it where we should be feeling it.
Right. Okay, so we warmed it up, and now we're going to keep pressing the arm up, tilt the head to the side, and good. And then press back up. Nice. And keep pressing up and tilt the head to the side. So you can do this one in your chair, sitting at your desk. Your neck starts to get a little cranky. Do this stretch, and you're building strength, which is really cool. Because we're adding that resistance, we're building strength, which makes it stick a little bit more. Yeah. Stick a little bit longer, because we know, like, when you build muscle, it sticks around a little bit longer. Definitely. So, yeah. And also, there's a lot of strength in stretching, and I don't think people give that enough credit, you know?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love
it.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's more on this side, because I woke up with my neck a little tight. I was like, oh, no. But that already helps, honestly.
Yes, yeah. So we should have did like a little test beforehand, like turning the head or tilting the head to see if we made any improvements. But you should feel just a little bit. And you know, when I would look at the neck, I would also look at the lats and the pecs and the root, like look at the muscles surrounding the neck. You know, holding the neck up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That is 8-pound weight right up in here.
Yeah, it's heavy, and then I got a long neck, so I definitely like. And also from just my stuff, trying to fix my stuff. So I'm, you know, probably have had chronic neck pain. I must have a very heavy head, so, and weak neck apparently. But yeah, like just trying to figure things out and fix things. It's kind of my jam. I love it.
I love it. It's so interesting.
Yeah. So that's a little taste of Kihara. I love it.
So how do clients reach you, or what programs you have going on? What do you got going on?
Oh yeah.
Tell us.
So like I said, I have every Thursday at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. I have a 30-minute free, no more than 30 minutes, free foam roll and stretch class.
Okay.
And if you go to my website at masterstretch.com, you can sign up to get notified of that. So on Wednesdays, I'll remind you. You can add it to your calendar. Got a little button where you can add it to your calendar, so you don't forget about the class. And we also go over the topic of the week. Then also I do have, if you want a guide on how to stretch better, the guide's called "You're Stretching All Wrong."
I love
that's just to get attention. I mean, if you're stretching and it's working for you, go with it. But if you would like to learn more about the resistance stretching, then you would just go to masterstretch.com/freebie. And then you could get a guide on how to stretch and build strength at the same time. So if you're looking at a little combo punch, it's a guide I have out there. So that's what I have for now, but I do virtual sessions as well, and one-on-one. So if you're in the Miami area, I do one-on-one stretching. I have the first session either is 90 minutes because I do an assessment, or I have a shorter one, 45-minute, where I do a shorter assessment, and then we get right to the problem area. But the virtual sessions are either 30-minute or 62. So if you have a foam roller, or if you don't, then I can definitely guide you. I've done a lot of that since the quarantine, since COVID. Yeah. So that's what's going on. All that stuff's on my website, masterstretch.com. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm on IG, Facebook, all the things. And it's all Mastro Stretch.
What's your IG? What's the handle?
IG is Mastro Stretch as well. Facebook is Mastro Stretch. YouTube is actually my name, so it's Amy Mastroguiseppe. I don't think I can change that without losing all my followers. So right. I'm trying to build that up, and I don't want to lose the followers. So that's how you can reach me, pretty much anywhere.
That is fantastic. Okay. So you guys reach out to Amy if you need any stretching help and some pain management as well. I'll be reaching out to you actually for my new fibromyalgia program. It's gonna
awesome.
This is a new, I think, because I want to have them be active and stretching at the same time, and I never even thought of doing something like this. So this would be perfect because their pain tolerance is so low, and the tolerance they have for how much they can exercise is also low. So it'll be a good way to get them kind of kick-started in a little routine. So
that's perfect. Yeah. Yes, because it's low inflammatory.
Exactly, and it's not high impact. I feel like you're not going to feel beat up after doing something like this. You're going to feel
absolutely. Yeah, and you'll most people are a little sore, but it's very specific soreness, and it's not like a heavy weight training, soreness, or like a high impact.
I can't brush my teeth. And when people are like, Joanna, I can't brush my teeth.
It's hard to sit down.
I thought of you when I went to the toilet because my
exactly.
I'm like, that's a little weird, but okay, thank you.
Yep, heard that one before. Okay. Wonderful. That's great. We'll connect for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to have you on again for all things stretching and personal training and health. So thank you so much for joining me. And
thank you for having me, Joanna.
Yes. So you can reach out to Amy if you need any ideas, or if you want to schedule some sessions with her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Any questions? Let me know.
Yay. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Have the rest of your night. Bye, guys.
You too. Bye.